All right, my loves. It says we are live. Y'all know I gotta double check because the technical difficulties be doing what they do. So let's see. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Oops. Let me exit out because we don't need to be watching ourselves right now. All right. Awesome. So welcome to the Carter Love Talk Show. This episode is about breaking free. We have the lovely Miss Brianna here and her awesome little baby,
Jean Rose.
Mama. Yeah, we're getting hydrated. Okay. So y'all know at the beginning of the show, we like to talk about how we met. And awesomely enough, I met her through a lovely guest that came on previously. So I believe you guys, I called her our Northern Star. Her name is Nikki. And so she came on and talked with us maybe 3-4 episodes ago. So I met her through Nikki, and we've been connecting a lot since I met her. And there's just a lot of alignment and a lot of synergy. And so after connecting with her, I was like, I have to have you on the show. I love the way you speak and the way you move in life, and I think we could all learn a lot from that. So I was like, yes, you have to come.
Well, thank you. Likewise, I feel like every time we talk, we just connect and we vibe. Oh my goodness.
Look, that's so funny. She's like, if I cough, I'm gonna get my drink.
No, she just drinks too fast. This is gonna be interesting. Can I have some?
No, not the way she looked at you. Like, I don't know if you can have some. Yes. Yeah, Mama Clara looked at my drink.
Okay.
Yes. So we want to talk a little bit about subtle habits and how they can have a stronghold on you. One of the things I'm learning right now is the little, like we always say, it's the little things, and the little things matter. And we say that, but we usually say that in connection to romantic relationships with others, right? We never think about how that applies in our daily life. And so that's one of the things I've been learning a lot lately is focusing on those little things, like you said, those habits, right? So what is one example that opened your eyes to the strongholds that these subtle habits have on us?
I was just thinking one day, like, I don't even know how to start this, but little things that take our attention away, like what matters most is our family. Mm-hmm. And I just started noticing my own temperament, like my patience, my window of patience throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And how much I have like to give and wanting to increase that window, and just noticing if I'm scrolling, or if I drank the night before, or if I go out with my friends, have a couple drinks and I come back home, like my mood, my irritability, things like that. And just like how we just think like, oh, it's a drink at dinner, or things are normalized so much, but I'm really being mindful about how how it just plays a role in my parenting. Just wanting to be like really, really present, really work on my like how much I have to give, like my window of giving for my family. Mm-hmm.
No, that's real. That's real. Because my kids know, like, you know, if I say we're having a movie night and they see me on the phone, they're like, well, you're on your phone. Like they're smart enough to know, like, you're scrolling, mom. So yeah. And it takes away because they feel like they're not as important. Even with positive things, like sometimes I take time in the morning to just do affirmations, and I'll like tell my kids, like, I'm like, because I'll be doing an audio journal affirmations. And one time my son asked me, he was like, do you love affirmations more than me? I'm like, no, affirmations are just what keeps me sane. Damn it.
Yeah. Definitely want to say there is a balance of waking up and making sure you do things that you need to do to be able to give more to your kids and things like that. The things I'm talking about, they're more negative. They're more harmful things to us that we don't really see, or things are more normalized, or everybody does it. So like we're not really as mindful or as
Yeah.
aware as it could be. And then even, even positive things to a certain point could still, some people like work out a lot, or they work a lot, or I don't know, I feel like you have to, I don't know how to say things.
Yeah. I think everyone, like you said, everyone has to find their own harmony that works best for their family.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
like you said, even the positive things can be negative, for sure. And I've experienced that too. Even like you said, with working out, for me, with working out and with working, I can lock myself in this office and just be working, working, working. Meanwhile, the kids want attention. You know what I mean? They may have like the food and stuff, but they want the attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand that for sure. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
This is why I don't drink on camera.
Oh. Earlier when I was getting ready, I kind of wanted to just, like I was telling you earlier before I hopped on, that I kind of had a tough day, and it's like has to do with my family. So I kind of wanted to take a moment and open up in prayer for families right now. I just feel that whether, I don't know, like your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your own kids, or relationship wise, that like family is just so important.
Yeah.
And the little strains that we have, I just want to pray for grace and for any forgiveness that somebody might be listening, needing just like to open their heart and forgive, or have some empathy, or have a hard conversation. I
Yeah.
just pray that the right words, or the strength, or the courage, or the right heart, something, because yeah, I definitely feel it's, yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand for sure. You're welcome to do that.
Well,
We
that was
can.
just me doing it.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know if
Maybe
you wanted
somebody
to.
listening was like, just like in the name of God, just kind of like, mhm.
Yeah, I understand for sure. Which kind of like leads into like the next thing is spiritual warfare was something that we did talk about discussing today. Um, and just diving a little bit into that and what does that mean to you?
Um, so I really do feel like, because I'm Christian, that God is love, and that we are here just to love,
Mhm.
and to just love people, love others. And I do feel like the devil comes in wanting to take away like your blessings and your abundance and everything like God has in store for you, and he'll do that. This is in the Bible, like by robbing, killing, destroying, or whatever. And I feel like he'll do that in the large ways, but also we're saying like small ways too, where he'll just get a
Yeah.
foothold into your life and just kind of, even if it means distracting you from your kids, even if it means a negative thought, or an insecurity, or a hesitation, or whatever. And he'll just come in and do that. And I feel like spiritual warfare is more when he's like, it says he like walks around like a roaring, like a sneaky lion,
Mhm.
That's not my dog. And I feel like, oh my goodness, I knew this was gonna be hard to do today. I knew it.
It's
Why are you
okay.
yelling? Why are you yelling? Uh-huh. Okay. This is one area that I'm really working on. This is so frustrating though. Hey, come here. It's like the inner feelings when you're dealing with this. It feels, when you watch it later on the outside, you're like, why did I feel those strong emotions then? Like
Yeah.
you see it from the outside,
Yeah.
like, why was I overreacting? Like, but it feels so real inside, where you have to like breathe and calm it down. And
Mhm.
it helps me do that more when I see it later on, like when I catch it on camera and I
Yeah.
snap, or I'm like, I yell, or I raise my voice, or just anything to release that energy. And then I
Yeah.
watch it later and I'm like, why was I so overstimulated? Like, why,
Yeah. No, I understand. I that's how I am like throughout the day. Like literally throughout the day. I'm like, girl, it wasn't even that deep. Like, so the drink got spilled, clean it up, have the
Yeah.
kid clean it up with you. Like,
Mhm.
you know, and like my kids are really graceful with me. Like, we we communicate, I'll apologize, or, sorry, I was just overwhelmed. Or for me, it's usually noises. Like, I'm listening to something in my ear, and then my daughter comes talk to me, but then she also has like a tablet that has noise too. I'm like, my brain is trying to process all of this noise right now,
Okay,
and
okay.
it's too much.
Yeah.
So I understand completely, because I think it's a mom thing, especially when we're overstimulated. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely a
I think
lot.
the sensory too, you're right about it. It's like her noise of yelling. Like I don't know what it is. Like there's so much I could deal with, but when it comes to like for no reason right now, just because I'm on video.
Yeah.
Just because I'm on video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, I understand. And it's when it's your kids. I used to work with kids, and I used to be able to tune out the yelling, because they're gonna do what they do, right? I used to be able to tune it out. And like with your own kids, it's kind of impossible. It's kind of hard to tune out.
I don't know if that'll entertain her. I just took down a basket full of all my lids. You play, please. You play. You play. Mommy's gonna do her video and you play. Oh, thanks. All sweaty.
Yes. That is how it be. There are times where sometimes like my daughter will come knock on the door, and I have to like hold the door while I'm doing an interview, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I could not.
One day she got mad because I held the door, and then I opened it a little bit, and then I closed it back.
Oh, you playing with her? You playing?
I wasn't trying to play with her. I just wanted her to back off because she started knocking. And so I
Oh.
opened it, and then I closed it back. And she cried because she did think I was playing with her. And so she like ran off crying. I'm like, girl, like we do this. I'm on a schedule every Monday and Friday. I'm in this room.
I admire you so much for staying consistent, like through it all. Your kids
Thank
will see
you.
that. But what was I gonna say too is that I had something so important to say.
Before? Are you talking about before she was talking to the dog?
Right now about right now about your story right now about
Okay.
trying to do things. Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah. It's okay. It'll come back, or it won't. Or maybe it'll come back in a conversation for us later on.
Yeah.
But beforehand, you were talking about
I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I love as women, because a lot of us are moms and we experience trying to be career driven but also be amazing mothers, which is a really hard balance. But when we have spaces like this of understanding, it enables that, right?
Yeah.
And like that's what I think moving forward, because one of the most important things for me is to be a present mom, and I try to figure how can I still create that income or whatever while still being a mom. And so I think I love things like this that create spaces for moms. I love that, and so I just want to say thank you for being understanding.
I'm glad that this is a safe space for you to because again, like if we don't create these spaces for each other, where are we gonna find these spaces? You know what I mean? Because they're not nowhere to be found. I was in Costco the other day, and a kid was crying, and I heard a guy say, why did they bring the kid in
Oh
there?
my
I'm like,
god!
what do you mean? So we're just supposed to lock the kid away because they have feelings? Like,
yeah. Honestly, I was just thinking that like society, I think like we just need a whole, I don't know how the word, but like renewal of mindsets for society, for especially parenting. You know, this whole like, oh, wait for her to be a teen, and like, everything that you're gonna deal with, and like, oh, those are just teens. I don't even think that should be like a normalized thinking. I think we need more like, I don't know how to say, like, how it says like it takes a village.
yeah.
Right, to raise kids. I think even more so in those teen years, that like instead of just like, oh, I feel like our society just needs so much more support with.
Yeah, I agree, because that's one of the main things I always hear, especially because both of my kids are really smart, and so they ask certain questions, and they smart alecky. I don't know where they got that from, but and people are always saying that, like, you just wait until they're teenagers, and I'm like, I don't have to.
Oh, you're like, oh, no.
They're behaving like teenagers right now. So
Yeah.
like if you don't have anything helpful to say.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just wait, it should be like, hey, if you ever feel like you need a break, let me know. I can take her to the movies or like some more support. I feel like, especially like as a mom, going through my own generational stuff of like how I react and respond, how we're talking about that when you get overstimulated. My older daughter, she always has something to say, and I don't know where she got that from. And you realize you're literally trying to undo yourself with your version, but like you have to
Yeah.
work on yourself first. It's just like the
Yeah.
craziest thing. And then so what was I saying?
You're saying that people basically
Hey,
they come at that first. They're they lead with those things as far
hey.
as like the way you should parent kind of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like, oh yeah, I was saying when I get overstimulated and like we're going today, my daughter and I were going a lot of back and forth, and I'm just like, girl, like you don't always have to say something back. Like if I ask you to do something, I don't need an explanation. Like, sometimes I just need you to do it. And
Yeah.
it's been a really big thing. So sometimes I just feel like, oh, I need space, but
Mhm.
I don't know, just I want it to be in a healthy way. Just my own thinking here. Like
Yeah.
what do you do as a mom when you're kind of like in a high conflict like space with your
Yeah.
growing child?
Yeah, I understand that too because here in my house, we all have big feelings. Me, my son, and my daughter. We all have really big feelings. My son is a person where he likes to keep talking and until he feels better. Where me and my daughter, we need space. We need space to breathe and process before. He's a guy, so he's very like, let's just solve this thing. Like he wants to solve
Wait,
it.
how old is he?
He's 7, but
Oh,
he's still very much like if my daughter, if she throws a fit, because she's been doing that a lot lately, if she runs off and throws a fit, then he'll go chasing after her. And she needs space.
mm,
That's how she copes. But he'll go after her, and I'm like, dude, you gotta give her space. And he's like, but she's crying. And I'm like, you
mm.
gotta give her space. She'll come back and talk to us later on, you know. I and my son's kind of like that too. Like, he has something to say back, or they always think that they're in trouble. I'm like, who did this? And they're like, oh, I didn't know. And they're like throwing out all these excuses. I'm like, I just want to know so that person can clean it up. Like, no one's in trouble. Like, I just,
So
I want,
yeah.
so I can understand that too. Like I said, my kids are very smart alecky, and my daughter has a story for everything. So I can understand the friction, especially when you're like, you need to show up as a parent, but you also need to take space for yourself so you can show up as
Yeah.
a parent. You know what I mean? And I've had moments like that with my son, mainly with my son. Because my daughter will storm out. She'll storm out and take space for herself. But my son, he's like, let's just talk about it because I want you to hear what I'm saying.
But
You
you guys
know?
need to process it first before you could come talk about it in an effective way, or else it's just
Yeah.
big emotion or like it's messy or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I tell him. I say, I'm not in a space where I can handle your feelings right now. I need to process
That's so
my feelings and then I can hear what you're saying.
yeah.
But his feelings will be so big and he hasn't found his coping skill yet. So his feelings will be so big that he's like, "No, we got to talk about this now." And I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah, he can't hold it. He can't hold it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I do, like you said, I try to be that example and practice my coping skills in front of them so they can learn to utilize theirs. But that's sometimes even that's challenging because I don't really do the deep breathing thing. I go on a walk, I listen to audio affirmations, I listen to music. Those are my coping skills. Um the deep breathing comes sometimes.
No,
So
mine
it's kind
is
of hard sometimes to model that behavior for them.
yeah. Also, like I don't know like how everybody else in their family does it, but I seem to have like a hard time like even knowing what to do because like you said, you learn about your kids and you learn about yourself in this like dance that you guys do, right? And it was my daughter and I. She's gonna be 13 in January, so it's like now it's like next level. It's like every time you kind of figure things out, it's like next level stuff now. And what I noticed today is like we have a lot of back and forth, and it escalates. She's trying to explain herself. I'm like, okay, but like that doesn't excuse you from X, Y, and Z or whatever. Like, I don't know, just like the dynamic that we're doing, it just is creating this space of like nobody's really listening or having empathy for each other, and like we're just kind of explaining ourselves. And then today it was like she was getting to a place of like, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I have no feelings behind it of like guilt, or like, you know how usually sometimes a kid will say something but then they know like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or like maybe she had like none. It was just like, and it was like the rudest thing ever. And like, and I was like, she's literally, her balls are like just getting so big of like how she talks to me. And even her friend was there, and after Luna left or whatever, I'm like spilling all the beans on here or whatever, but I'm realizing like, how can I break this cycle of us, you know? It's just like, it's this journey of motherhood has been the most growth season of my life, because this dynamic with her also plays a big role in my relationships with everybody, of like when there's conflict, how do I respond? And like a lot of times she's mirroring me back, like you said, right? I don't know where she gets that from. So she's mirroring me back of like what I usually do is like I usually explain myself, because I feel like, well, let me explain so that they can understand where I'm you know, whatever. But I realize sometimes like, I don't know, you don't got to explain yourself, you know? Just,
yeah. That's one of the things I'm learning too, because I developed that. So now they're expecting it. They're expecting me to explain. And so I don't want to be like, well, because I said so. But it's like, I'm the parent, right? So I've already thought this far ahead. So I know why. You don't always need to know why, but because that's what they're used to. That's the expectation now, because they're used to getting an explanation. They want to, you know, they're expecting one, but also because they're still young, they don't care about your explanation because your explanation doesn't make sense to them. You know, it doesn't make sense
just
to them.
Like right now, seriously. And as they get older too, you're like, I realize that there's things I should have maybe protected her from, like talking about finances or things, because now the weight's on her shoulder, where it's like, well, why do you have to go to work? Why do you have to do this? Or like, I'm trying to edit a photo shoot because we're behind on this. Like, she thinks I'm just sitting down on my computer, right? So like, let me explain to her. And then she's like, today she made a comment, you're just, cause I asked her to take the dog on a walk. And she's like, well, why can't you do it? You're just sitting there. And then it's like, she doesn't know, like, I'm so stressed that I want to post these photos to get more clients, so that way I could pay for things. But it's like, wait a minute, why am I explaining that to her? It creates a space of back and forth. And honestly, I am the parent, but I need to take that parent role. And like, but then how can I gain her empathy and understanding without explaining? With like, I need to figure this out. And this is why therapy is really good, you know? But I don't know.
I understand that, because it's the same.
Know these things, like,
I get that 100%, because that's what I experienced too. Because I work from home, right, and I do school, and so my kid's favorite thing to say is, "You get to do whatever you want. You get to do whatever you want." And I'm like, "No, baby, I don't, because what I want to do right now."
Let me tell you.
You know, and so I do the same thing sometimes, because they're like, "You're just on your phone." I'm like, "No, I'm connecting with people so I can get more clients, so that I can have more money." You know what I mean? And sometimes they say that I don't even work. You know, you don't work, because I don't leave the house. They think I don't work,
or they just don't respect it.
Yeah,
they just don't respect it. And the same thing, like my sisters, they see different lifestyles of like her friends' moms are married and they have jobs and they have this, and it's like, stop comparing. Like, and it makes me, it's like I'm trying to like not feel like she's making me feel like not enough or something different, but I'm just like, I'm literally trying to put your priority, and like, I'm the one that takes you to school, I'm the one that picks you up from school. Other people don't have, like, I don't know.
One of the things that I did have to kind of come to terms with is that our kids are not going to really see all that we do until they're grown or become parents themselves. And even then, they still may not be able to see it, because they might be put in different situations where they have a partner to help take some of the load off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, I hope so. I hope she sees and if she wants a partner or not a partner, she says she doesn't, because my dating life has not been the greatest. So she's kind of like, I don't want none of that. And
Yeah.
I feel so bad for, I feel like I've always, sorry, like I feel like I cut you off. I'm gonna let you keep going. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You can go.
Oh yeah.
I just think for me, it's about finding, I don't want to say comfort, but just one, acknowledging the fact that they're not going to understand us, and we have to figure out, one, because we're having these conversations, because we're having these thoughts, we know that we love them and we have their best interests at heart, and we also know that everything we're doing is for them and for us, right? And so I think, like you said, it is finding that balance between, hey, I want you to know what's going on, but I'm the parent, so you don't need to know every little thing that's going on, you know what I mean? Finding that harmony for us,
But it's like, how do I respond when she makes a comment that's like just very like dismissive, or she clearly doesn't understand something, or I see she's assuming something and it's creating this resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I want to clear that up, but then it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I need to wait for a better space to sit down and not respond right away to that comment.
I think the same thing. That's what was coming to me as you were saying it, because I do the same thing. Like, especially if I'm already overwhelmed, you know, if I'm already overwhelmed, sometimes it's like I'm not even really responding to them, right? I'm responding to that tiny little insecurity in me that's saying the same shit that they're saying. Well, mom, you don't even work. You know what I mean? Because technically we're not doing traditional jobs. Okay, well, maybe, to some people, maybe I don't work. Maybe some people don't take my job seriously. So I feel like in those moments, we would be reacting to them because of maybe something that we were already feeling. Whereas, like you said, if you take the space to breathe and then come back and say, hey, well, when you said this, that hurt my feelings, you know what I mean? And I know that you don't understand what I'm doing, or you're not always going to understand what I'm doing. And that's okay, because I'm your parent, you know what I mean? But you don't get to talk to me that way. That was extremely disrespectful. And again, it's easier said than done, because like I said, I've done that too. You know what I mean? Because my kids say the same thing to me, because I don't work a traditional job. I homeschool. My school is at home too. So
I think
does she bite herself?
No, I don't know what she's.
Oh, okay. Because her face got red. I was like, oh, did she bite herself?
I think it's a little different is that, like, I know kind of like, she just doesn't want to talk. I feel like it becomes a little different when they get older. Now it's not just like innocent, like, oh, well, you don't really work, and it's kind of funny because they're little and they don't get it. It's now like it just comes out different from her now, where it's like, why can't you do it? Like, you're sitting down, where it's like, it's no longer like a lack of understanding, but it's like, it's very disrespectful the way you're talking to me right now. Like, it's just pure disrespect. Like, you could just say, well, like, oh, you couldn't take her, like, you're like, you don't have time, can you take her for, like the tone and her whole approach to it. But it's clearly like her whole body language and everything is kind of like, well, you're sitting down, like, why can't you do it? Like, straight up, like. So I need to like figure out things big time on my end.
I understand. I think revisiting the conversation, because again, you do have to take care of you so you can take care of her. So in the moment, if you just kind of like you said, we create that space where they feel like they can have a back and forth, because we react.
Have to reroute, I guess. I just feel so defeated, like, for the past year, just constantly thinking of like troubleshooting. How can we fix this? How can I have a conversation? How can I be better at this? How can and just like to the point where it's just like, I don't know. It gets defeating sometimes. But anyway.
I can understand that for sure. I can totally understand that.
But yeah, that actually like pulls me into like everything that I've been going through. Really just like pulling away from drinking so much. No, I don't drink at home casually at all anymore. Like I like, it just takes so much energy away from me, which obviously all my energy and everything needs to go to like being a better parent, And so like that's one of the things I was talking about like a stronghold on my life was,
Yeah.
oh, I'm drinking a Modelo during dinner, making dinner, not a big deal. But then I noticed later on I would get really more irritable and stuff. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
just kind of thinking about like what's a more priority and how can I spend my time and my energy better. Oh my goodness. Are you done?
Yeah, I can understand that too. Because honestly, that was me too. Like when I used to have my drinks, I feel like because I couldn't enjoy the relaxation that came with the drink, I would become irritable because I'm like, I'm all calm and you want to come ask me about some food after I just fed you dinner.
Yeah. You don't want to get up. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Go. Free, please.
But so I can understand that for sure. And I know I've had to create those different dwell on what works best, like I said, to create that harmony within me, but also within my household. So I can understand that.
Okay. Okay. I think she's telling me I gotta wrap it up. Okay. Did you have any like last questions or anything before we go?
There was a question in the comment that I think might help us in the long run. And it was, oh, where did it go? Oh, it says, how do you separate your identity as a person from who you are as a mom?
It's actually a really good question. I was thinking, okay, because I'm Christian, right?
Yes.
A little backstory here. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but like when the time comes for you to like decide if you want to believe and accept Christ into your life or whatever, and you basically like surrender your old self and your old ways, and when you're baptized, you hold on. Here, can you color? Here, pen. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you color? Can you color? Okay, so like you're literally baptized and you come back and you're like rebirthed. You're renewed in your heart, and
Yes.
you essentially like what we call like die to yourself, your flesh, of all your old desires and all the old ways that were not leading you to like a flourishing life, things that were like whatever you participated in before that, like you realize at some point it's not helping you flourish at all. It's like, this way is going to be better for me, even though it requires more discipline, more self-control, more everything that people don't like to do or whatever. So it's called like die to yourself. And I realize that in life, every time you're, oh my goodness, I really want to share this. Every time that you want to level up, you have to essentially like make those sacrifices and like die to yourself. If you go to college, you have to die to yourself for like going out with your friends or whatever it is to refocus on so you can grow. And when you become a mom, again, you have to die to yourself again. You know. And so when talking about identity, one thing I'm realizing is that being a mother like is actually the highest calling. It is one of the highest callings, I believe. And I know our society like views it more as like, oh, you're in a bad way, die to yourself in a bad way. But again, that's a separation of culture and Christianity or relationship with Jesus. Because Jesus actually says that that's a good thing to die to yourself because you're I don't know, it's like you're leveling up in a way. Again. So I don't see it separate. I think like I know like I think what they like I don't know. Like I still have my things. I don't know. I still have my photography or my things, my interests that I like to do.
I see what you mean. It becomes a part of who you are because I it's not just from 1 to 18 I'm a mom. No, baby, you're a mom for the rest of your life after you make that choice. So I can understand what you're saying for sure. For sure.
Here, play with a pot of water. There. Yay. Literally put a pot of water. See if she'll play with it. She'll make a huge mess, but I'll have to clean it up later. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like so many women feel like they do need a separate, like, I get it, like needing to take that breath, right? Like right now I could use some help or whatever, but like my identity.
Yeah. But I
I
get
don't
what you're saying because it's like you said, you still have your things. I think some people, like for me personally, when I first became a mom, I didn't have my things. I took care of the house, the kid, and my man. That was it. I didn't have my things. Then I started working out, then I started dancing. Then, after the separation, then I started going out with my friend because even then I wasn't even hanging out with friends.
yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I lost my identity. And so I get what you're saying. Like it's like I think as long as you still have things that you do that you love, you still have your identity. It's not like being a mom. Like you said, it doesn't have to be a separation. It's I'm a mom, but I'm also this. You know
You
what I
know what?
mean?
I think you said something really, really big there, because I think it's very easy for me to feel the same way when I was in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the man comes home, um, like, whether they come home, they go shower or whatever, and even if they're playing with the kids, like, you're still there. It's not like,
Yeah.
okay, like maybe you have an agreement, like, let me go leave for an hour to go to the gym, or whatever, shape your day, or a lot of people get daycare, but
Yeah.
personally, I don't want that. Like, I feel like, again, like, they're my kids. I want to be the one
Yeah.
to raise them. I want to be the one with them, seeing
Yeah.
them grow, be doing all the things with them. Not like, I know some moms will even drop their kids off at daycare even if they don't have to have the day off at work or whatever, just to get
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
done. I don't know. I can't. I don't judge. I never judge. I just think personally for me, like, that's not how I live my life, like, here with my kids.
Yeah.
But it
No, I
is
understand.
different. It is different because her dad does get her on certain days or certain times where, like, I might have those 4 hours, but those 4 hours,
Yeah.
they really are everything to me, because I realize I'm sometimes when he's coming, I'm just dying to go take a shower. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like,
No, for
can I
real.
go take a bath, please? Like, can I shave my legs? Like, things for
Yeah.
myself, where maybe if I wasn't a single mom, I'd probably be able to get to do those things still, but it would not be like the complete piece. It would be
Yeah.
like the coming in the bathroom, or, oh, how do I cook this dinner, or like, and I
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like, if, again, like I said, when you try to relax but then you can't, it's almost more frustrating. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, let me just, and I feel like it is so hard. That's why I wanted to pray for families, because it's so hard to navigate that. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's another reason why God made it the way that he did, of structuring, of like, you're supposed to have premarital counseling and talk about those things and what that looks like.
Mhm.
What is our life going to look like when we have kids? If you're going to work and I'm at home, what is this going to look like to create that, what's the word here? Like, I don't know, because so many people jump into it and have expectations,
Yeah.
and it creates so much conflict of different lifestyles, different expectations, and I feel like I did not do things the right way. I did not learn my lesson. I did it again, and so, like, I was thinking today too, like, my heart breaks for, like, the lessons we don't learn, the consequences we
Yeah.
pay for the lessons we
Yeah.
didn't learn,
Mhm.
because our life wasn't designed to be like that. My life
Yeah.
is not designed to be like this, but
Yeah, I
because I took
understand.
life in my own hands, and you know.
Yeah. No, I can understand that for sure. 100%. Like, I think we've all made decisions, and like you said, we have to live with those consequences. I can say I'm doing that as well. Lessons that I didn't necessarily learn, or it took me a while. It took me experiencing them multiple times to learn, unfortunately. But I am grateful for how it shaped me as a woman, as a mom, as
Oh
a
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Um,
And you know
so
what? In
I'm
church,
definitely
they talked about our struggles will be, essentially part of our story.
yeah, yeah,
So, like, he was talking about how one girl had, and my pastor was talking about. Yeah, yeah. I made that up today. My heart breaks for the consequences we pay for the lessons we don't learn. Yeah. Um. So poetic, right?
yeah.
He was talking about how some girl had an abortion, and then later on she became like a help for women who are dealing with unwanted pregnancies.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was like about how some pastor dealt with pornography struggles, and later on he was like helping men, like, being open about that space, and like,
yeah,
so, like, never have shame around your story. I will never have shame around my story. I
yeah,
can talk about it
yeah,
openly, and I can admit things, but I don't have shame around it, because I know God does work everything for good. He will.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
my lessons become my story to connect, like you were saying. with other women and stuff.
Yeah.
And
And
be a
to
better
grow
woman.
other women and elevate with them, and
Yeah.
I just think it's beautiful. The way I like to explain it is I'm grateful that God trusted me with this struggle, so because he knew that I would learn the lesson and then teach it to someone else so they don't have to go through this stuff. You know what I mean?
Or even just to relate with somebody to make me feel like, you don't know, like not, I don't know, like when you're able to talk about it, then the shame is, it kind of, you relate with other women and you're
I feel like it definitely minimizes that shame and helps us to actually receive more from what the pain that we experienced, for sure. For sure.
And now I know if I date somebody, he has to be a man of God, talk about things first.
Yeah. Hello, dip, baby, dip.
Goodness
dip,
gracious.
dip.
Over to me, they were like probably 10 times during his order. Just like, ooh, I had to breathe. You said you're
no, like I said, I understand.
You say
especially because like you're trying to hear the thoughts in your mind, and all you can hear is her going. Yeah. So I know how it is. I get overstimulated and I have PTSD, so it's like times 1,000. The noises, they get me all the time, so I understand.
But she's just a baby. She just wants her mommy's attention, you know. So it's like,
yeah.
We tried going outside on a walk, but it was all rainy.
Yeah, I know. I'm loving it though. It's so soothing.
Oh, I love the rain.
Yeah.
But I had just curled my hair for the video, and I was like, I cannot go out in the rain right now.
Yeah. I can understand. Did you want to give us a scripture to close out on?
Oh my goodness. Let me just see what the one of the day is. I'll do the little guided prayer with you guys. Okay. Whew. Okay. Need a moment with God. Oh, wait. So it starts out saying, God, his way is perfect. The Lord's word is tried and true. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. Think about some of the ways God has protected you. Then take a moment to praise God for all he has done. And then it says, I will do whatever you ask in my name so that the Father can be glorified in the Son. What do you need to be honest about with God today? Take a deep breath and then talk to him about what's on your mind. Father God, you are faithful. Nothing is impossible for you. And nothing is too hard for you. My problems, pain, grief, and hurt, you know it all, and you carefully support me through every season. Today, I could really use your guidance. Please show me a way through the difficult situations I am facing, and fill me with your peace. In Jesus' name, amen. Nothing is impossible for God. As you process today's prayer time, give yourself permission to sit with questions you may not have answers for yet. And it says, talking with God is an ongoing journey, and this is only the beginning. That's it.
Awesome. Is that a daily devotional app?
It's just the Bible.
Oh, the Bible app. Yeah, they do have those things on there. They even have like little lessons you can learn on there.
Yeah, they have what are they called? Plans, and you can invite your friends.
I didn't know that. I haven't been on the app in a while, but I used to do the devotionals that they would have on there that were like specific to different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you could literally look up, like it says, love, prayer, healing. Like you could choose, and it has different plans, and then you could add friends, and you can see what they read. You could highlight verses and share it and things like that. It's really cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I like that they're making it more communal, especially because we've gotten more virtual. So it's nice because it's like, you could be where you're at, I could be where I'm at, so-and-so could be over there.
Yeah.
And we could all just be doing a devotional.
Yeah. On Wednesday nights, our church does like a women's group, and the thing is untangling your emotions, and it has been so good, so good. So it makes me want to show up, and then when we all share and listen to each other and just kind of like, I feel it's good to have a space with women who are like-minded as well, because I think it's hard sometimes to connect with people who aren't in faith-based, because then it's like they might think like differently, where I don't know if that makes sense. Where
No, I get you. I remember when I was more religious, as when I was younger, I feel like I would say certain things and I could feel the judgment. You know what I mean? Because I was walking in that way, or because I quoted a scripture, or whatever the case may be. And I remember my pastor telling me, you want that. Like,
yeah,
I was a kid and he was like, you want that because it just shows that you're in alignment with the word of God, and it's making them uncomfortable. Hopefully it'll make them uncomfortable enough to come to church to see what it's about for themselves. But I get what you're saying, because it's a comfort to be around like-minded individuals, who your words have a safe space to land, and you're getting some positive feedback that it's not laced with judgment, you know.
well, not only that, but it's actually, in one way it's comfort, but in another way it's uncomfortable, because you can always count on your sisters in Christ to hold you accountable. Or it's like, girl, but not in a non-judgy way. But I feel like some friends around you, they'll be like, oh, that, they'll just affirm you a lot without like really, calling you to a higher place, which I think is really important.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. For sure. We actually just talked about that on a different episode.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was talking about how with sex and everything and lust, like, and she said, like, if you really want to beat that, then have a like accountability group. And I was like, I don't even know if I want an accountability group. And
I
I was dead
know.
honest. I was like, that would be like really calling myself to step back in that space of vowing to that again, and fighting all those things I had to fight, and doing things the right way. And then, but the way that she said that, it didn't come across judgy or anything, but it was a suggestion. And I was like, okay, like, it's been definitely in my mind. But a regular friend would be like, girl, you deserve to go have fun.
Yeah. You're a single mom. When was the last time you got some?
Yeah. And I was like, that ain't the way, sis. That ain't the way. Okay. Oh, okay. No. Over there. Okay. All righty.
All right, my love. Thank you so much for coming on today. Bye, Mama. Ooh, that's a nice wave.
Bye.
Thank you for coming on.
Okay, bye, girl. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't know. You have to end me, yeah?
Okay. It's slowly ending.